Let's continue exploring the universe within art and the art behind music. I'm your host, OmLedu. This video was requested by Speak the Movie. They wanted me to do the Lavender Town song from Pokemon. And I'm really excited for this one. Not only do I love Pokemon, but I love the Lavender Town song. Plus, it translates really well into Minecraft. So thank you so much for leaving a request and a comment. You are totally awesome. Of course, you could always build a simplified version of this that we will go over when we start the build tutorial, and that is just the 4 background notes that repeat infinitely whenever you're in Lavender Town. And as for the full design, I promise it's not as complex as it may look. We're going to build it one block at a time, and I try to design it where it would be easy to follow along. And it's always fun to play around with different instruments. That's why I wanted to showcase this a second time, so that you could get an idea of what different things will sound like. But unlike the previous songs that I've tutorialed out, this one is all controlled by a lever. So you either need to connect it to like a T-flop or a lever, something that has a static on and off. We'll talk more about customizing the input at the end of the video. But for the build tutorial, we're going to start off with the simple version that just plays the 4 background notes, and then work our way up to the full design. Now, because this uses a lever or a static on and off, normally I would have optional sections for the repeating and stuff like that, but this is all kind of tied together since both sections need to be timed together. And rather than trying to copy the build area, I would recommend just following along and placing the repeaters to measure everything out. And as always, I'll list the delay needed for the repeater sections at the top of the screen. But a repeater always has a delay of 1, and then every time you click it, the delay goes up by 1. So a max delay repeater has a delay of 4. So to reach a delay of 5, we need a max delay repeater and then a repeater with no extra delay. So we need 4 sections with a delay of 5. But on this 4th section, we're actually going to use a comparator instead of a repeater. A comparator also has a delay of 1, but make sure that comparator is on subtraction mode. We need a comparator so that we can actually turn it off, since this is going to loop forever and ever. But now let's place our note blocks. So starting with the one next to this comparator, this one needs to be tuned to 6. And then we're going to go clockwise. So the next one needs to be tuned to 13, so poke it 13 times, then 17, then 12. The numbers at the top of the screen represent the tuning for the note blocks in case you want to take a screenshot or just to make it easier to follow along. But then we're going to place a repeater and a redstone dust going into that first note block, then 3 blocks next to that dust. Then we're going to go on this side and place 3 blocks coming off of that middle block, and then break out this center one and place a block down on the ground. Then we're going to place a repeater in this hole with 2 redstone dust, one under here, and then one on top of here. Now we need to break out the centermost block of the ones that we just placed because we need an observer looking up at that top block. So poke a temporary hole in the floor so that we can place an observer facing up at that block. Then we're going to fill back in our hole. Then we need to break out this top block, but be aware that when you do, it will start playing. And we don't necessarily want it to start before we have a way to turn it off. So we're going to place a block with a lever on it, turn that lever on, and then place 2 redstone dust going up there so that we can turn it off. Now, when that lever is on, it will lock this comparator over here, which will prevent it from playing. But when that lever is off, that comparator will unlock, and the observer will send a signal to the note blocks, which will start it a-goin'. And that's it for the basic design. You could stop here, and this definitely sounds like Lavender Town. But for the full design, we're going to start off by placing a repeater on max delay next to the block under the observer, going into a comparator that's on subtraction mode, then another repeater, this time with no additional delay, with a redstone dust going into the side of that comparator. Then coming out of that comparator, we're going to place 5 repeaters all on max delay. Then at the 5th one, we're going to turn around and we're going to place 4 more max delay repeaters going the other direction. Then we're going to tie these 2 together with 2 pieces of redstone dust. And now it's time to place all of the repeaters for the note blocks. So at the top of the screen is the delay required in between each note block. So right here is going to be our first note block. So we need a delay of 10. So 2 max delay repeaters, and then a 3rd repeater that you poked 1 time. And luckily, all of the delay for this song is either 10 or 5. Now when we come to the corner here, we're going to turn and place our final repeater there and place a redstone dust in between those repeaters. Dust doesn't affect the timing at all. And this will be our 4th delay of 10, so after this we will need 8 delays of 5. So 1 repeater on max delay, and then 1 repeater that you don't poke at all. And when we come to the corners, again, we're going to place our repeaters and then place dust in the corner to connect them together. And I did already place the instrument blocks, but when you build this, I would recommend just building the repeaters. Just follow along with how I'm building the repeaters, and then go back in and place your instrument blocks in all of the holes that are in between the repeaters. But we did the 8 delays of 5, and now we need 4 delays of 10. So 2 max delay repeater for a total delay of 8, plus a repeater that you poked 1 time for an additional delay of 2. So we just need 2 more delays of 10 for a total of 4, then we need 4 delays of 5. Now this back row here in the center is going to be slightly different. Right here, we're going to skip a block when we place our 2 repeaters, and we're going to put redstone dust here in the middle. That is because this is going to be a note block eventually, and we don't want 2 note blocks to be next to each other. But then our last delay of 5, and now 2 delays of 10 to end it out. Now this very last delay of 10 is going to be slightly different as well. We're going to have 2 max delay repeaters, and then a comparator next to this dust, on subtraction mode. Don't forget the subtraction mode, that's very important. But then we're going to place another repeater right here going into the side of where that note block is going to be, and then 2 pieces of dust to tie the comparator to that repeater, and that's it. Now our repeaters are totally done, all of our delay should be correct. Now it's time to place and tune our note blocks. So now the numbers at the top of the screen represent how many times you need to poke each note block. So this very first one is going to be 13, then the next one is also going to be 13, then the 3rd and 4th need to be poked 12 times, and if you mess up, just break the note block and replace it. It's much easier to start from 0 than it is to try to figure out where you're at. So this one is 10, then this one is 17, then this one is also 10, then 6, then 5, then 10, then 2 13s, and let me know how you would like me to count this out. Like, are the numbers good enough for you to follow along? Do you need me to tell you every time we place a note block how many there are? Should I slow it down? Should I speed it up? All of this is feedback that I would love to know. So let me know in the comments what you would like me to do in the future when it comes to these note block guides. But then the very last 2 need to be tuned to 18. And now we are done. We tuned all the note blocks, we have all the delay, so now if you turn off this lever, it will start playing until you turn the lever back on. Now if you want to move the input somewhere else, all you need to do is to be able to toggle one of these 3 redstone dust. So like if this was the floor, you could place a lever right here, and it would power on and off the dust underneath on top of that observer. So you could use a T-flop, you could use a piston that's holding a redstone block, you could use a lever, anything that will turn on and off those 3 redstone dust, you can use as your input. But it needs to have a static on and a static off. So like a redstone block, a T-flop, a lever, not a button, not a pressure plate. It needs to be static on and static off. Or if you don't want to activate it from the top, you could build a wall right here and activate it from the side. Just place a lever on the block that's next to the dust, and that would toggle that redstone as well. And this is my favorite instrument combination. If you missed it, it's clay blocks for the background 4 notes, and then air blocks or dirt blocks or the default instrument for the chorus of notes. But definitely play around with different instruments. You never know what you might find that you enjoy. Plus it's easy since you just have to switch out the blocks. You don't have to mess with any of the redstone or the timings. But that's all we got for this episode. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, share, and subscribe. And let me know what you did or didn't like about the video. Your feedback is super helpful and will help me get better in the future. Or if you don't know what to say, just tell me hi. I would love to hear from you. Also, if you have any questions or requests, simply let me know and I will do my best to help you out. Your support is really greatly appreciated. I can't keep doing this without you, so thank you so much. And with that in mind, a big shout out to all of my subscribers and all of my supporters, and to you. Thank you again so much for watching. I really hope you found this helpful or enjoyable. You know, that's the whole point of these videos, is to either help you out or to entertain you. So let me know what you would like to see in the future. And while you're here, check out some of my other content. I have farm tutorials, redstone tutorials, so if you want to become a redstone master, you can totally learn how to do that. And even if redstone's not your thing, there's plenty of other content to choose from. But that's all we got for this one. I hope to see you again soon. Until then, I've been your host, OmLedu, here to share some music with you. And reminding you, as always, don't forget to have fun. Bye-bye!